Hi guys, nice to see you again. Welcome back to i-nastava. My name is Davor Černi and I will be your teacher for today. Today's topic is fake news, and this video lesson is intended for 3rd grade high school students. In this lesson, you will be reading an adopted text with the topic of fake news. Students will be analyzing specific information and implicit messages in this text, and students will critically evaluate the information on the topic of fake news. Let's get ready, get your equipment ready. Of course, you can stop the video at any time, and in the video description you can find all the links needed for this lesson. Enjoy! Anyone can post whatever they want on the information superhighway. This is the present that we're living in today. Internet is available almost to everyone, and it means that anyone can write whatever they want on this information superhighway. Let's warm up first. Let's play a game called BBC iReporter. Following the first link, you take the role of a BBC journalist who has to check whether the information he gets is fake or real before the news is published. Also, following the second link, BBC Fake News Challenge, you'll be able to watch a little video where children are asked to decide whether the news is fake or not. See how they handle these situations. So when it comes to fake news, what can you do? Well, as this little infographics says, try to stop the spread of false information. The latest COVID situation has caused a lot of false and fake news spreading around, and it is up to us to stay away from the rumors. So think and write down your ideas. In this video lesson, we'll try to answer a couple of questions. What I would like you to do is pause the video and write down what you think the answers are to these questions. As you follow the lesson, see if you have the correct ideas. So the questions are: explain what is meant by the term false information. Where can false information come from? Identify 3 reasons why you think people share false information. List 3 ways you can check if something you encounter online is false. What impact do you think false information can have on people? So, as I said, pause the video and write down your ideas to these questions. So, let's look at some facts. What is fake news? Fake news is an invention, a lie created out of nothing that takes the appearance of real news with the aim of deceiving people. The term false information is preferable as it can refer to a diverse range of disinformation. False information is news, stories, or hoaxes created to deliberately misinform or deceive readers. When the term fake news comes up, people usually think of social media posts with rather fantastic and implausible stories. So this is theory. Let's see how it looks in real life. So, what does it look like in reality? Can you guess what type of false information there are? So there is clickbait, propaganda, satire or parody, sloppy journalism, and misleading headings, biased or slanted news. So following this link or the QR code, visit the Quizlet page and learn about these 6 types of false information. So let's check what you have learned. Pause the video and try to connect the letters with their headings and numbers. So let's check your answers. The text under the letter F. Lots of website and social media accounts publish fake news stories for entertainment and parody. For example, The Onion, Waterford Whispers, The Daily Mash. These are satire or parody. Text under the letter D. Many people are drawn to news or stories that confirm their own beliefs and biases. This is what we call biased or slanted news. The text on the letter B. These are stories that are deliberately fabricated to gain more website visitors. These are called clickbait. Text C. Sometimes reporters or journalists may publish a story with unreliable information. This is sloppy journalism. Text under the letter A. Stories that are not completely false can be distorted using misleading or sensational headlines. Of course, these are misleading headings. And text under the letter E. Stories that are created to deliberately mislead audiences are called propaganda. Let's practice some vocabulary. We have 5 topics. So bias, propaganda, satire, false, and influence. We're looking for synonyms that we can connect to these 5 topics. The first one has been done for you, so favoritism, propaganda, brainwashing, satire, irony, false, fake, influence, pressure. So what I would like you to do is pause the video and distribute the words above the table into the table and try to add your own additional keyword for each of the topics. So when we talk about bias, we talk about narrow-minded and preference. When we talk about propaganda, we talk about promotion and spin. When we talk about satire, we talk about sarcasm, spoof. False can be misleading or dishonest, and influence, sway, or pull. I hope you were able to add an additional keyword of your own. So let's practice some more vocabulary. On the right you have 8 words that are key vocabulary for us, and on the left you have their definitions. So what I would like you to do is pause the video and try to connect the words with their definitions. So annoyed because things don't happen how you want them to, frustrated. An organization that protects the rights of workers is a union, causing you to feel anxious, worrying, not fake, real, something that happened which there is information about, fact, to affect how someone behaves, influence, to believe that something is true, especially when it is bad, accept, and to form an opinion after carefully thinking about something, judge. Now it's time for some reading. You're going to read an article about how pupils in the UK are using fake news in their schoolwork. Before you read, put true or false next to each of the statements on the next slide. Then scan the text using the link or QR code to find out if your answers are correct. So here are the statements. Pupils are creating their own fake news. 20% of teachers said that their pupils used fake news as fact in schoolwork. Teachers will need to teach children how to tell the difference between real and fake news. Pupils still believe that false news is true, even when their teachers tell them it is fake. Websites could get a €50 million fine if they don't remove fake news posts. Most fake news posts will need to be removed quickly from their websites. So decide if these statements are true or false, and then read the text following the link and the QR code and check your answers. So, do you know this internet language? Can you use it in context? Pause the video and write down these sentences in your notebook and complete them with the phrases above. So messaging on social media is a typical way for young people to communicate. If you don't know the answer, find it online. He wrote several posts that day about his trip to Mexico. Many internet providers can also sell you a TV and phone package. There are a lot of websites which offer cheap holiday accommodation, and social networks will have 24 hours to remove content that is illegal. Let's practice some more. Can you spot the fake news? So read these headlines and decide whether these news are real or fake. And here are the answers. Sharks found in your basement. This is real news, and it was published in Huffington Post. UK won't take part in the Eurovision Song Contest from 2019. This is fake news, published on a site called Pink News on April Fool's Day. 100-year-old fruitcake discovered near the South Pole, and it's almost edible. This is real news. The cake probably belonged to explorer Robert Falcon Scott and was made by a British company. Pizza company makes heated letterbox to keep your delivery hot. Fake news. This was the story on April Fool's Day in British newspaper The Daily Express. Blue dogs spotted in India. Real news. Several news sites reported that dogs in Mumbai turned blue because of polluted water. And polar bears found on Scottish Islands. Fake news. It was another April Fool's Day story. This one is from British newspaper The Telegraph. So how do you decide if the story is fake or real? If the news is fake or real? So here are some of the steps that you can take for checking the story. First, check the source. See if the website you're reading the story from is reliable or unreliable. So look beyond the headline. If there is real evidence or facts beyond the headline that you have just read. Check other sources. See if the news is reported in other sites. Is it fact or opinion? So look for facts. Or is the whole story written as in a form of an opinion? Check your biases. Is it a joke? Or you can also use check a fact checking site, for example, like www.snopes.com, politifact.com, or factcheck.org. Or you can do a reverse search for images using the site tinyeye.com or Google reverse image search on the site www.images.google.com. Then, before you believe it or share it, check your own instincts. Over to you guys. Let's do some research work. You have 3 topics to choose from: deepfakes, false information in social media, and bursting your filter bubble. Well, the first topic is deepfakes. You can do this research in groups of 3. Have you ever heard of deepfakes? Well, deepfakes are fake videos created using digital software, machine learning, and face swapping. Here are 2 interesting videos where you can learn more about deepfakes. So what I would like you to do is answer these 3 statements. How does it work? How to spot deepfakes? And when seeing is no longer believing. Create a report for your class. Also, using the link Diamond 9, download the worksheet and decide in your group which of the techniques of spotting false information can be useful to spot deepfakes. Organize this in the shape of a diamond. It is important that all members of your group agree on the place of the strategy in this diamond shape. So the second topic is false information and social media. You can do this activity in a group, individually, or as a whole class. So write down these 8 statements in your notebook and try to finish them and make them true for yourself. When you copy the statements, join other members of your group, compare and discuss, and report your findings to the class. So the third topic was bursting your bubble filter. This is an activity intended to be done in pairs. So what are filter bubbles? Filter bubble refers to a phenomenon that occurs with many of the websites that we use. Platforms such as Google and Facebook use algorithms or mathematical equations based on our search history and personal information to personalize and tailor their services to us. This means that what you search for today will appear as an ad in your search engine tomorrow. What are the benefits and drawbacks of getting information online through a filter bubble? Give examples for each in the table. So using the link filter bubbles, download this table and in pair decide on what are the benefits and drawbacks of these filter bubbles. The second activity I would like you to do is using this worksheet, think about what can burst your filter bubbles. Think about your own filter bubble. Consider what search engine, apps, social media platforms, etc. you use to find out information about the world, your interests, and your homework, research. These are sources you trust and use on a daily basis. Now make a list of these trusted sources inside your filter bubble. On the lines above the filter bubble, consider how you might break out of your filter bubble. What settings could you review on the platform, search engines, apps you use? What people and organizations might you follow? What new perspectives might you seek out? How could you find them? So, using the link, download this worksheet and decide what is inside your filter bubble and how you can break this filter bubble. So we are coming to the end of this lesson. If you remember at the beginning, I asked you these 5 questions. I hope I was able to provide the answers for you. Before we part, you can follow this link, think before you click, and see why is it important to think before you click on a link. Also on this link, think before you click, you will find a short cartoon. We can use this cartoon to practice mediation. So follow the link, read the cartoon. You are discussing the topic of false information and dangers of social media in your class. Your friend doesn't have internet access and can't read the cartoon. Your task is to summarize and retell, in Croatian language, the story from the cartoon to your friend. Where necessary, add information which might help your friend to better understand the information given. You can use this holistic rubric for peer assessment of this language mediation task. Before we finally part, self-assess, list 3 things that you have learned today, 3 things you have found interesting, and 1 question you still have. Thank you for taking part in this video lesson. Hope you have enjoyed it. Till next time, bye!